We are ready.
Okay, thank you. Meeting called to order. EJ, can we determine a quorum, please?
Yes, Mr. Chair, happy to do that. Director Scott Houston.
Here.
Chairman Tommy Favai.
Here.
Director Desi Alvarez. Director Don Deere.
Here.
Director Gloria Gray. Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
You. When it comes to public comments, do we have any commenters here that's in person?
Mr. Chairman, we have not received any requests for public comment, though this meeting is being held both in person and virtually. If there's any member of the public that would like to speak, please indicate so by raising your virtual hand.
Good morning.
I don't see any requests for public comment.
It sounds good. Okay, General Manager, item number 4, presentations.
And we have no presentations for today.
All right. Okay, our next item is number 5, action calendar. Number A, award agreement to event production services for the year 2025 and 26 Water Harvest Festival.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this item begins on packet page 3. And for this presentation, we have Mel Miranda, our Public Information Specialist 2.
Thank you, EJ. Good afternoon, Chair Favai and directors. Historically, West Basin has contracted with an event production company to assist with festival planning and implementation. This event production company supports West Basin's PI staff, allows us to be more efficient with our time, brings added value and creative ideas with their experience, provides a greater overall experience to those attending. Referring to the schedule on packet page 3, we issued a competitive request for proposal on May 1st. The 13 companies engaged in the RFP. Of those, 2 submitted bids, which were Bravo Productions and Manaya Management, DBA Coast to Coast Conferences and Events. Both companies are very qualified and would be great for the festival. The scoring was close, with only 1.45 points separating the 2 companies, as shown on packet page 8 as attachment B. Before I continue, I did want to call out an error on my end. The amount noted in the summary section on packet page 3 is last year's budget, where the amount listed in the recommendation on packet page 5 is the correct amount. This time, incidentally, did come in less than last year's approved budget. Apologies for the slight oversight, as I wanted to point that out to avoid any confusion moving forward. With that, we are recommending Coast to Coast for the following reasons. Qualifications, capabilities, and experiences of key personnel. Ease and transparency of their communication based on their use of technology, namely ClickUp, which provides real-time access to their budget and task list. Established contacts with subcontractors. And although Bravo's bid was lower than Coast to Coast, it was only by $612. There were some line items from Bravo that were zeroed out, which caused some concern. And overall, along with that reason, the committee deemed Coast to Coast's cost proposal was better based on overall value of their proposed services. Additionally, based on the feedback staff had received, the board has been very pleased with the past 2 years in which Coast to Coast was selected as our event planner. The committee feels that this recommendation will provide continuity and will again help produce a successful events. Here's some background on Coast to Coast. It is a woman-owned local business that's been operating out of downtown Long Beach since 1994, with a portfolio that includes over 2,500 events. Coast to Coast is known for effective client communications and working collaboratively to reach their clients' event goals in a high-quality, cost-effective manner, something they've demonstrated the past 2 years as Water Harvest Event Production Company. I'll read the recommendation now. That the Board of Directors authorize the General Manager to enter into an agreement with Manaya Management, DBA Coast to Coast Conferences and Events, to support staff in the implementation of the 2025 Water Harvest Festival. The festival contract amount is $85,119, plus a 5.42% contingency of $4,881, for a not to exceed total amount of $90,000, with a 1-year option to extend services for 2026. Thank you, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you. I just have a couple questions. before I open it up to the rest of the board to give their questions. I like that we're meeting the certifications when it comes to women-owned business. That checks off the box. I like that. And then when it comes to like the closest bid, right, it was what the lowest was what $612 compared to the parent. So I wish construction contracts was like that. That was that close. So usually they're far apart from each other. But I think this is a great agreement. Looking forward in the recommendation. And I wanted to bring it back to the dais and see if any of our board members have any questions about this.
Oh, no question.
Okay.
I'm comfortable with the recommendation.
So EJ, so how would this work when it comes to recommending this to the board? Would it go as an action item or consent?
With unanimous approval of the committee, what we'll do is be moving this to the board meeting. It'll be listed under a consent calendar.
Got it. Good. All right. So I would like to do that and then. Great, Director. Good. All right, thank you. All right. Moving forward. Item 6 on the information calendar. A, EJ.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Item 6A is a recycled water 30-year anniversary update. For the presentation, we have Michael Calabria, our public information specialist. This item does begin on packet page 9. And before I hand it off to Michael, I just wanted to maybe set the table a little bit. We've been discussing the 30-year anniversary since our last year's budget. Our intention back when we adopted the last year's budget was to begin really the celebration effort in the new fiscal year, which begins on July 1. However, I want to give a lot of credit to our public information education staff because we've been already incorporating several different aspects of this celebration into a lot of the things that we do, and you're going to see that here today. But what I wanted to really do is make sure that this is a two-way conversation. We are looking for feedback from the committee and board of directors. I recognize that there's 2 directors that weren't able to join us today, so we'll work with them to get their feedback. But really to maximize this effort and really celebrate this achievement, 30 years is significant, especially within the water industry. So we want to get your feedback so that we have very specific direction moving forward and we can collaborate and work with the board as far as how we implement this effort. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Michael.
Thank you, EJ. Good afternoon, Chair Favai, members of the committee and board. If you can please open to packet page 11. This past April marked the official launch of the district's 30th recycled water anniversary, aligning with our first customer connection, the Lakes Golf Course in El Segundo, now known as Topgolf, in 1995 and the start of the Earth Month celebrations. The Public Information Education Department is currently implementing a 7-month campaign that highlights West Basin's historic water technology innovation, current recycling system success through collaboration and partnerships, and a commitment to a resilient future and tomorrow's green workforce. Next slide, please. Since the launch in April, the Public Information Education Department has introduced historic and current recognition elements on a monthly basis. These tactics include expanded Edward C. Little Recycling Facility public tour schedule with enhanced content and refreshments hosted every month, starting in April and ending in September 2025. Next slide, please. Developed outreach signage and branded materials that include Edward C. Little and Donald L. Deere building lobby signage, elevator signage, Edward C. Little monument sign, celebration banner, community outreach booth, tablecloths, promotional items, and educational content. Next slide, please. Staff has developed communication branding that includes celebratory staff and board member email signatures, PowerPoint slide templates, branded virtual background for online meetings. Next slide, please. Enhance the district website with celebratory graphics and copy on the district homepage, an expanded recycled water webpage, uploading the recognition press release and web news story. Next slide, please. In the upcoming months, planned recognition tactics will include continued development of original monthly social media content, which will include posts, reels, and videos recognizing the district's and program partners' achievements and staff and board expertise, current and historical facts, and dedication and commitment in reaching this milestone. Content development for monthly digital print-themed ads promoting our recycled water success aligned with the marketing plan leading up to the Water Harvest Festival in October. Next slide, please. Staff is seeking board member ideas for a 30-year celebratory event. One possible option that can engage recycled water partners and customers with public recognition could be the expansion of the annual Water Harvest Festival VIP breakfast mixer to a 30th recycled water anniversary theme with a recognition ceremony to acknowledge West Basin's history and dedicated and visionary recycled water customers and partners who have made this success possible. The potential program could start at 9 o'clock a.m. on Saturday, October 25th in the conference room at the Edward C. Little facility and run for 1 hour in advance, leading up to the opening of the Water Harvest Festival. This program could include ready-to-hang frame recognition certificates received by all attendees upon check-in, a brief celebratory presentation of significant historical benchmark achievements contributing to the 30 years of success, recognition of recycled water partners, elected officials, city staff, and recycled water customers. Recycled water program partners can be invited and recognized in the community to open the event and encouraged to enjoy the Water Harvest Festival with their friends and family, as well as be slotted into the stage program for helping provide prizes to opportunity drawing winners and serve as costume content judges, participate in our West Basin Recycled Water booth as their interest and availability allows. Such an option would assist and maximize the achievement recognition of West Basin and its partners while minimizing event expenditures such as event rentals, and is timely not to interfere with other West Basin program launches, events, classes, and the end of year holiday schedule. This concludes my presentation. Please let me know if you have any additional questions. Thank you.
Thank you for the update. Moving on to B. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know if it'd be appropriate to get any comments or feedback from the directors on that presentation.
Okay.
I think what you heard there is what we're trying to do or find ways to really maximize the value of some of the things that we're doing. So when we hold table days and we sponsor different events and stuff like that, we're making sure to incorporate our 30-year anniversary into that and really educate people on our recycled water program and all the achievements that we've come across and had over these 30 years. Secondly, the incorporation of the additional tours and getting people into the facility and really seeing what we're doing there and highlighting kind of some of the things we've done, we think is crucial. The third aspect is more of the actual celebration. And we've discussed this in the past about incorporating it into our existing Water Harvest breakfast because it's something that we do already. It's something that we typically get a decent amount of attendees, especially from our retailers, but there's things that we can do to enhance that and get more people there, to really make sure it's a special occasion. West Basin just recently had a birthday a couple of years ago. We saw the attendance was greater at that event. We were able to kind of incorporate some event kind of style things with presentations, stuff like that. So that's what we are looking at as far as the celebration. But the question is does the board want to see something on a grander scale or something unique and separate and aside? We have put money in the budget to for the celebration and for certain things and aspects, but we want to make sure that we size it appropriately. We think that we could do a great job at having it at the Water Harvest, but if that's not the expectation of the board of directors, we'd like to know so we can plan properly.
And how much is the budgeted? For the
14,000.
14,000 for the anniversary
Yes.
breakfast, right? Anniversary breakfast.
That contributing towards an event,
Okay.
a possible option for it.
All right, I'll bring it behind the dais and see if any of our directors have any questions or what they want to add towards the 30-year anniversary. Director Houston?
Let's see, you know what, I think I'm open-minded right now, especially with, we do usually have the breakfast that morning, and I think that's a great idea, expand upon it. Don't know who all the target audience will be 100%. But, you know, yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. And I'm not sure if we have I wanted to try to do something separate. That's what you all are still thinking, or if the other directors are thinking that, that we could look at a separate large.
Well, and that's what we're hoping to get today, is kind of a, do you want to do something separate? As far as the targeted audience, we would obviously work with the board of directors.
Mhm.
We've typically received a lot of positive traction as far as getting our retailers there. But obviously we have a number of different recycled water customers
Mhm.
that have not really been the focus. But when you think about that clientele list, you're talking about Goodyear, SoFi, Intuit, the refineries, obviously, Mattel. We have an impressive list of customers that have come on board over our 30 years. So there's opportunities there, but we would work with the board of directors on the invitation list.
I would hope they'd have to continue to include the local elected officials too. Mayors and council members.
So EJ, when you mentioned a lot of those customers, I mean, that's a very big group. But a lot of people aren't going to come on a Saturday morning, obviously. So it does seem like that would be something we'd look at as a separate type of.
Yeah, if the board wants to do a separate function, we just need that direction. We'll start planning.
I'm willing to think about that because, remember we did the 20-year anniversary. It was outdoors and we did a big event, and I think to get some of those customer agency people there or retail folks, that we serve, you're probably gonna have to do a weekday event rather than a weekend event. So maybe we keep our breakfast kind of the way we usually do it. But obviously the board has to decide this, and I don't know what the budget is or whatever, but I think that it would be good to see if at least we should talk about concept of hosting something at the facility.
Okay.
The ideas that stood out to me, and I'm glad Director Houston is bringing some of that up. It's like a dinner, like maybe like on a Thursday night or a Friday night, and then how do we engage the customers and the retailers to purchase tables, right, for our 30-year anniversary, and then raise money that way. I'm just thinking out loud, but. Yeah. And how do we bring in our, partners and then enjoy the 30-year anniversary together? But, just thinking like, okay, we haven't done this before, right? So
Yeah, I don't want to give that impression. We've had many a party here at West Space, and we've done it all.
Okay.
I've been here for a long time, so I've seen the USC marching band. I've seen bigger events and different things as far as celebrations go. They do have varying different costs. Targeting and getting the audience airs, takes some work. Depends on what kind of event it is. Sponsorship for kind of a celebratory thing like this is, you may get some. As far as some of the firms that we've worked with in the past, I don't know so much about customers per se and retailers, but we can definitely work on that. The public information team had talked about a potential option for the Friday before water harvest, but that would require setting up early and doing some different things. But hearing the feedback from the directors is helpful because we can go back and really look at it and put something together.
Oh, okay. So the staff is thinking of having the Friday night before the Saturday.
That was just an idea that was discussed.
Okay, I think it's.
If it was a standalone item, it was, or a standalone
Okay.
event.
I think it should be separate.
So that could be a secondary option as well. I would, I would suggest to maximize event rentals. We could do it the day before water harvest. Staff suggestion would be brunch. So we would have enough time to clean up for the event the next day. But that would be a way we would maximize our event rentals. It would be a more dedicated event. And it would be hitting those boxes also on a weekday as well, on that Friday, which would be the 24th, the day before water harvest. So we would set up on that Thursday instead of, and be ready for Friday.
The idea was thinking about staff schedules for customer agencies and partners. It's like if they know that there's a brunch, they know they're not going to the office, they're coming straight to El Segundo,
Yeah.
and then they can head into the office afterwards or start their weekend early, whatever, their schedule allows. But it seems like it might be easier for them to make it out for a brunch, lunch type of thing.
Yeah.
But that's just one consideration.
I like that idea because getting people to go anywhere on a Friday night is very difficult. And I prefer not to go to events on Friday nights unless it's my personal stuff, of course. So, I like that potential idea. So I think that should be something that's worth.
Okay. And then we'll just bring this discussion to the board when it comes to the rest of the board directors to have input. DJ?
Correct. I think this is, in my opinion, been a very valuable conversation to kind of hear that direction. What we can really do is take that. We do meet regularly with individual directors to kind of talk about different concepts. So I can initiate those discussions. We can also have staff begin the process of putting together kind of what this would look like, because it, again, we're looking at existing events that we're having, but to the Pi team's credit, they came up with, well, if you want to do a standalone, this could easily work. So it is a good option. So we can continue to work on that concept and then bring it back each month as information.
Director Deere, do you want to add anything? All right. Thank you. Thank you, Steph. All right, moving on to our next item. The quarterly community relations update, EJ?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this item begins on packet page 18. And for this presentation, again, we have Miranda, Public Information Specialist too.
Thank you. Good afternoon again, directors. This quarterly communications update summarizes activities over the final quarter of this fiscal year, April, May, and June, and begins on packet page 18. Total of 57 community relations activities have been or will be completed by June 30. First category, water recycling facility public tours, saw 15 tours conducted, with the final taking place last Thursday for the California Water, the 14th event. These tours included the public tours for Saturday's Water Lab public tours at the Edward C. Little Water Recycling Facility, which continues to be an international destination and resource for professionals in the water industry. It welcomes organizations like Suez for Sydney Water and the United LA Clean Tech Academy. Additionally, we were honored to welcome Senator Ben Allen's staff on April 8th, with 9 of his staff members attending. We have 3 more public tours scheduled for the rest of the calendar year, as well as other special tour requests that will be submitted, and we look forward to welcoming more visitors. For the Speakers Bureau presentation, West Basin staff ventured into the community and completed 4 speaking opportunities where they shared the district's mission, water management priorities, and employment opportunities in the water industry. The number for each of these events reached at least 20, with the El Segundo Elderfest celebration hitting 100 attendees. We completed 6 West Basin events this quarter, highlighted by 4 water bottle filling station photo opportunities, thanks to Tammy's hard work in the community. Also included was the well-attended internship program application orientation and the rescheduled Malibu rain barrel distribution event, during which Gus braved the downpour to give away 50 rain barrels. We were optimistic that we would have given away all 100 allocated at Malibu's rescheduled events, but the rain proved to be a deterrent for many residents to register. With April being Earth Month, kick off this 4th quarter, We anticipated our involvement in the community to increase, and it definitely did. We tabled at nearly 30 events, including 17 in April alone. Next Saturday's Faith Fed Wellness Fair in Englewood, which was well attended last year, will round out the quarter's community events. Some highlights of the past community events include 200 engagements at Hawthorne's Earth Day and Service Provider Fair, 150 at Culver City's EnviroFest, and 130 at Assembly Member Miratushi's Palos Verdes Peninsula Wildfire Preparedness Town Hall. Last Saturday's Juneteenth celebration saw staff engage with 71 community members, adding to our outreach success. There were 9 community outreach sponsorship events that took place this quarter, as seen on packet page 21, with the Samoan Heritage Festival in Carson rounding out these events on June 28th. Woo-woo! Staff engaged with 220 folks at the Waterbury Washington District's Groundwater Festival and 215 at the El Camino College Spring Job Fair, with the Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce's 5K for Freedom Run Walk and Culver City's Car Show, all engaging with well over 100 attendees. Lastly, there were 3 water education classes completed this quarter, with 2 being collaboration classes with WRD. A highlight of this period shows 32 attendees for our most recent Water Lab chat in May, the most attendees in the history of the program. This increase was in concert with our graph replacement marketing efforts that included Sunset Magazine's advertorial, West Basin's own social media, efforts from the South Bay Environmental Services Center, and paid advertising placement in the Los Angeles Times Daily News. Of the completed events to date this quarter, more than 2,100 community members have been reached and become more knowledgeable about West Basin's programs offering and how important water stewardship is. These listed events do not include the additional 18 sponsorship events that require staff and coordination for advertising design and director talking points to support those sponsorship events. That concludes my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Bring it behind the dais. Do we have any questions for staff on this specific item?
No questions, but excellent work and very, very happy and pleased what you guys been doing lately. So thank you.
For attending a lot of events.
Director Grandier?
It's fine. Okay.
All right, we're moving on to item C, the monthly communications update.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this item begins on packet page 23. And for the presentation, we have Jen Jensen, our Public Information Specialist 2.
As always, it's a pleasure to be here with you all today to give you an update on our monthly comms report. I'll begin with our photo media release on packet page 25, please. So in this past month, we sent out a photo release for our media outreach for the El Segundo High School water bottle filling station. Really just again showcasing to the media to share with their readership about the latest installation that provides communities with a sustainable, clean water source. And on the next slide, 26, we'll review our published web news on our district website that continuously promotes our programs and district accomplishments. And for this past reporting month, that includes publications of a story about the Legislator of the Year Awards earlier in May, acknowledging the lawmakers that have made a significant impact to promote and enact sustainability and water investments. And then we also had a story recapping the firescaping workshop that we hosted in Topanga, very successful, and showcasing all the helpful resources provided to all the attendees who came out to learn about protecting their homes from wildfire damage. And then following the publication of the Sunset Magazine advertorial, which we'll talk about later in this report, we also published an independent story on our district news site as well, really featuring that article and the purpose behind it and creating more promotional aspects for our residential grass replacement program. Like I said, we'll talk more about that Sunset advertorial later in the report. Moving on to our earned media coverage on the next slide, page 27, please. An article from Two Urban Girls mentioned West Basin's water rates briefly in an article in relation to the city of Englewood's budget and spending percentage increase. Wanted to make the board aware of that. And then the Daily Breeze featured West Basin and Director Houston in a really nice article about the sponsorship of the Peninsula Friends of the Library Pride Celebration. Really a great event over there. And a similar article on the same topic was also featured in Palos Verdes Peninsula News in their not in the digital copy, but in their hard copy as well of the paper. And RPV TV also covered a story on the same topic. So a lot of great coverage and a lot of great representation from West Basin of our sponsorship of such an important community event. Again, all focusing on that library pride event. So all in all, really great coverage this month as far as West Basin's involvement and supporting such important and impactful events centered around inclusivity and uplifting the LGBTQ community. In paid news coverage on slide 28, please. Excuse me. Following procedure to notify, to notify the public of the district's public hearing for local public employees vacant positions. We also published a public notice in the Daily Breeze to spread public awareness. I'm saying public a million times, but you know what I mean. Public awareness of the district's efforts ahead of that public hearing. So moving on to the next one, as part of our continued efforts to promote the increased residential grass replacement rebate, we also placed ads in the LA Times and Daily Breeze, as Mel mentioned in his report, and we published our article in partnership with Sunset Magazine promoting our grass replacement rebate programs. And that wraps up the paid media coverage portion of this report. Moving on to the next other news coverage slide on 29, please. This is our standard SBESC partnership, which they sent out several e-blasts and newsletters announcing our student art contest winners, our virtual chats for the public, and our residential grass replacement and landscape design resources as well. And as we all know, there's a large audience of SBESC recipients who really take advantage of those notifications that we publish, and that is a really great outreach source for us. So we thank them for their partnership in that. And for our social media report on page 30, please. So in this reporting period, our social media team posted a total of 69 times across all platforms, including 27 times on Facebook, 36 times on Instagram, and 6 times on LinkedIn. So again, just to give you a recap, that graph on the right-hand side of the slide represents the volume of engagements, which just provides the board with that visual demonstration, again, of how often people are engaging. So essentially how effective our outreach is with West Basin's posts on each of those 3 platforms listed on their color graph. And that includes clicking on links, commenting on our posts, liking, saving, sharing, all of that good stuff. So the total engagements for this past month were 2,085. And you may notice at the end over there, that spike in engagement around the 20th, we always want to give an explanation for that. So this is the result of several ads that were placed the day before. And those ads just, boosted our exposure for our water bottle filling station program, our water lab program, and just general West Basin brand awareness through those sponsored ads, through those placed ads on social media. And we'll just continue to showcase just how active we are on all of those platforms in the community with our partners and audience. And this is a representation of the effectiveness of those ads. So the total impressions or number of times our content was displayed to users on all platforms were over 100,000 impressions. And this stat provides a pretty decent perspective on the exposure that our content is receiving. It's how many times it reached people, which in turn obviously can lead to increased visibility of our programs and overall mission and participation as well. Next slide, please. So on page 31, we'll share the top performing social posts on each platform for the reporting month. And below each image, as always, we will share why it is a top performer for the past month, just to give the board an idea of the hard work that our social media team is putting in and the effectiveness of their work. So starting on the left of the slide for Instagram, the Topanga Firescaping Workshop post gained 1,372 views. And on Facebook, our top post was the Being Waterwise is Student Art Contest winners, which earned 105 engagements. And on LinkedIn, we received 473 impressions for sharing the West Basin Spring newsletter. And then moving on to the program section of this communications report, please, on slide 33. Thank you. So I will be sharing an update on the Sunset Magazine advertorial campaign that we've been preparing for the last few months to promote our residential grass replacement rebate program to their Sunset Magazine readership. And that was, of course, geo-targeted, as I've mentioned in past communications report, to people in our service area. So it's not going out to a mass audience that it's not relevant to, very targeted and specific. So that campaign went live at the end of May, which included a 1,000-word article that will live on sunset.com in perpetuity, focused on really vibrant storytelling and visuals that is capturing the impact of our programs and resources. And the campaign also included a dedicated marketing e-blast to their 22,000 readership in our service area, digital ad banners on the sunset.com website that lead to the West Basin website and the grass replacement rebate program, and social media promotion on the Sunset Facebook page as well. So we're very pleased with how the campaign has really come to life and launched. And then once this month-long advertorial campaign concludes at the end of June, we will provide the results and a report of the rollout and share those success metrics with the board so that you can get an idea of the click rates, the increased program signups, and advertisement outreach. So we can just take a look and analyze how effective this type of advertorial was, if it's worth our time. And but for now, it was a really great opportunity to collaborate with a very established magazine that targets similar viewpoints to what West Basin has as far as providing community with really helpful resources and sustainability. So moving on to slide 34, please, for an update of our Water Lab program, keeping you apprised of the progress and success of our district activities and resources for the public. We kept the attendance rates for the entire 2025 year on here. I know I've reported these before, but I just wanted to give you kind of a scope of how much attendance there has been because we've had some really good engagement. But a reminder, I'll share a quick rundown of our attendance recent events in the past reporting month, which included the public tour in May, which had 33 attendees, the grass replacement chat in May that had 32 attendees, and public tour on June 7th with 21 attendees, all really showing a steady public engagement and showing a continued interest in our agency's operations and water-related resources. And then in the upcoming section, as you'll see, we have a lot of events, classes, and tours right at the bottom. You'll see that coming up throughout the year, and we really look forward to keeping that momentum going and keeping public interest going as well. Next slide, 35, please. Okay, so to give the committee a continued update on the marketing and promotion of the additional residential grass replacement rebate funds, all of our marketing materials and are listed on that slide. So we reported last month that we were at 100 signups, which was more than a 100% increase at that time of our initial goal. So that was fantastic at that point. And then since then, we're happy to report that that number has increased to 145 as of last time I checked on this. Mel, is that still accurate?
So 160-ish.
Okay, so even better since the time that I created this report. So we're currently processing those applications right now for eligibility. So it's really nice to see that increase in participation and interest. We have completed the deployment of paid digital advertisements, as Mel mentioned. I just want to reiterate that through the LA Times and the Daily Breeze and also the Sunset advertorial. And we'll continue to promote this program to really maximize the utilization of the grass replacement rebate funds as long as they're available. Slide 36, please. We have a brief update on our construction outreach for the PV recycled water pipeline project, the slurry seal for the parking lot, and the striping notification for construction activity has been prepared. We also completed neighborhood canvassing and outreach to Little League and community gardeners and affiliated homeowners association. And we're looking forward to the future, which we will continue to monitor construction project hotline and email inbox to ensure that we are really maintaining effective and open communication about this construction progress as it progresses toward completion. And moving on to our upcoming section and the concluding slide of this report, thank you, on page 38. We do want to keep this item on the radar. I know I had it on our last upcoming section too, but we are wrapping up the final editing stages of the grass replacement video series that will be done at the end of June. And that's just another element to support and promote in longevity, the residential grass replacement rebate program. So these are resources and videos and testimonials from customers who have been part of or are in our service area who have been part of the program, and providing really great testimonial support and kind words about West Basin. And those can serve as a supplemental resource in many different aspects, whether it be from social media, YouTube, our website. We can play them at events, and they're going to be really, really nice videos. I'm really happy with how it's coming out. But for now, we're wrapping up that editing process, and the production company will have the final videos ready for us at the end of June. And we'll make sure to share those with you when they are published and ready. And I'm excited for you to see the completed work. So that concludes my report. Happy to answer your questions.
Thank you. Thank you for that presentation. I think with, all of the signups with all the courses that's been happening, I think that's a really good number of having, for each, class and stuff when it comes to the replacement for grass and stuff like that. And then the signups, having that 145 signups, for
60.
Oh, 100. Oh,
Some more.
for the month of June, right? So, yeah, so I think that's great, when you have participation from the local communities participating and stuff. So, no, I think great presentation moving forward. I'll bring you behind the dais and see if any of our directors have any questions about the update.
I just note that the various divisions have good representation. I like to see and not be one-sided all the time. It used to be not too long ago. It seemed like one or two divisions had all the applications and all the money went there, et cetera, et cetera. And now it seems like we're really covering the territory, and I'm glad to see that.
And I would just say, I mean, you've done a lot over the last month or a couple months. And so I applaud it. I really did enjoy the Sunset Magazine piece, and I'm glad we did that. And I know you all were creative with it. So it does continue to, have some, bear some fruit, if you will. But I'm really, really happy with that. So I wanted to get to say that here as personally. Thank you.
All right, next, on to our next item is D, monthly conservation programs update. EJ?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, this item begins on packet page 66. And for the presentation, we have Gus Meza, our Senior Water Policy and Resources Analyst.
EJ's number?
Page 60.
Oh, good afternoon, Chairman, by committee and board members. Yes, my item for you is update 58. Next slide, please. We just talked about the landscape design assist program. Yeah, I'm really excited too that we have 160 people signed up. Our local landscape designer, Swayzer Landscapes, they're currently working with our residents to provide these landscape designs. So far, they provided 13 landscape designs with another 15 in progress. So they continue to contact and email all the folks that have applied for the designs. And then once they get the design, they refer them over to me, and then I talk to them about the next steps and how to apply for the rebate at NWD's website. So there's a couple of steps after they get their design on applying for the rebate. So we're making really good progress there. And then we also continue assisting our cities and public agencies with designs through the same program. Big focus right now for the residential side, but we also continue providing landscape designs to our cities and public agencies. We recently assisted the city of Hermosa Beach with the design, and we have a meeting with the city of Lomita to discuss the program with them as well. So they're interested in getting a design for some of their areas at the city of Lomita. And so this is being funded partially through a grant, and we did receive approval from USBR to extend the program through September 30th of this year. Our goal is going to be in the next couple of months to extend it again through next June of next year to keep the program going. Next slide, please. So this slide provides the status of our extra $1 per square foot from our USBR grant. So we continue, as you heard, we continue to promote the program, various channels to get the word out about this rebate. So we'll continue to do that. We have some goals that we'd like to meet. So the marketing is helping. The landscape designs are also helping to have more people apply for the rebate, because that's one of the requirements to apply for a grass replacement rebate is you have to upload a landscape design for the rebate program. So our landscape design program is really helping residents and cities with that portion of it. So they can upload it and apply. So we'll continue with that effort. Next slide, please. And we continue, as you heard, we continue to promote the program to our underserved, disadvantaged community areas with this really high $6 per square foot rebate. And again, we are getting residents applying for the landscape design and then applying for the grass replacement rebate. So continue with those efforts. Slide, please. And we also provide a rebate to commercial sites and cities, public sites. As you can see here, I mentioned that we're working with the city of Hermosa Beach and the city of Lomita. And we also plan to reach out to more cities, such as Inglewood, Carson, Culver City. We have contacts and we want to keep promoting this program to our cities. We have had quite a bit of participation from our cities, but I know we can do more with them. So we'll continue with those efforts. Next slide, please. Thank you. So staff is starting to plan for our fall rain barrel events. As you know, these programs are very popular with our residents, with our cities. And so we have listed here a timeline and some tentative locations, some dates to be determined. So what we do is we rotate these events through the cities of your divisions. So for example, in Division 1, we held an event at Palos Verdes Peninsula High School last year, very successful event at Palos Verdes. And so this year, we plan on the event here in the back parking lot area. We've had a couple of events here, Director Fly, over the last few years here. Very successful. We have this long street that goes way down Walnut. So we have a long road for the cars to come in to the parking lot and pick up their rain barrels. So that works out very well. At Division 2, we have a great relationship with Morningside High School in the city of Inglewood. And then for the next 4 cities and Lawndale High School that you see there, we have been contacted by cities who would like to host an event. We were contacted by Hermosa Beach, the city of Culver City, city of Malibu, and then Lawndale High School. So we're going to be working with them to come up with some dates, and we'll work with our board services to find a date that works for your schedule as well. So we'll be doing that. So we plan on conducting the events from this September through November timeframe. This is December there, but we're going to try to get them out as soon as possible before the rainy season, so people can hook them up and have them ready to go. So yes, and then also we'll be working with board services to identify the volunteer groups for your events to help us with these with the events. We worked with different volunteer groups over the years, high schools, service clubs, and they really enjoy working with us and helping us with the event. So we'll be working with board services to get those ideas from them for the groups. Next slide, please. And we continue working with our partners in the North Santa Monica Bay area on developing a new program there, the Malibu Topanga area. We're very excited to announce that we are participating with Tree People on a native plant kit sale. It's going to begin this July 4th. And we're working with the city of Malibu and our retailer there, LA County Waterworks District 29. So we're going to be promoting the sale. We're finalizing the flyer now, and we'll provide the flyer to the board so you can have that information about the plant sale. So residents will be able to pre-purchase the plants from Tree People's website beginning of July 4th. And then the kits, they cost about $120, and then it's for 10 1-gallon native plants per kit. So the resident will get 10 native plants. And so that's the cost of the kit. But through the grant that we have, we're going to deduct $50. There'll be a $50 discount per kit. So the resident will actually only pay $70. So our grant is really going to help the residents lower that cost. And so we're very excited about that. Tree People, they've worked with other agencies, such as Las Virgenes Municipal Water District, Callega, City of Oxnard, City of Pasadena. They've worked on these plant sales in the past. They've had very successful plant sales. So this will be our first time partnering with Tree People. So we're very excited to do this plant sales this year. And then the event will actually take place in November, December timeframe. And so right now we're working with board services to provide a date. We're going to be partnering with the city of Malibu for that event. So people pre-purchase the plants now because they're growing them. They're growing the plants, and then they're going to bring them. Tree People will bring the plants and all the volunteers to that event in November, December at City of Malibu City Hall. And staff will be there and will help load the plants into the residents' vehicles. So we look forward to that event this fall. Yeah. Fun. Let's see here. I think I covered everything there. Yes. In Director Houston, we continue working with LA County. We're tracking and monitoring that freeway MOU. So it's still, as far as we know, it's still scheduled, and they've assured us it's still scheduled for July 15 to go to the Board of Supervisors there. And we will continue to watch that agenda. And once we find out, we'll let you know. That's on the agenda. We'll work through board services on that. Continuing to work with our partners and our project manager to continue developing that program. So we'll stay on them. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Next slide, please. Okay, here's a list of our classes. As you can see here, West Basin, we offer a variety of different classes. We offer a West Basin chat. This is a short 20-minute webinar where we provide information to residents about the landscape designs and how to apply for the rebate. Because there's a few steps on how to apply for the rebate. Sometimes residents aren't sure how to apply. So these chats are very helpful. And also last year we started partnering with WRD. Well, they're partnering with us actually on providing landscape classes. Metropolitan Water District, they provide us with free landscape classes. They sponsor the class, they pay for the instructor. All we need to do is find a city, find a location. As you can see here, we've listed a few cities that we plan to work with. Gardena, we've held classes there over the years. Culver City, all these locations, we've held classes over the years. So we're going to continue providing classes. Our goal is to provide 9 landscape classes in partnership with WRD this year. And this gives staff a really good opportunity to talk about our landscape designs, our rebates, and answer questions there. Okay. And lastly, I do have a couple of quick updates. We were contacted by Leadership Redondo Beach. They are working, their class of 2024, they're working on a community project. They're trying to raise money to plant 5 trees at local schools. And so we provided Leadership Redondo Beach with information about MWD's programs and our landscape design programs, the rebates that are being offered, the tree rebates. And so they were going to review all the information and see if they can work with any of that. But we're here to help Leadership Redondo Beach with their efforts there. It's great that they're planting trees at high schools, elementary schools too, I believe, right? All the schools there in Redondo Beach, yeah. It's a great project for them. And that's my update. Any questions or comments?
Yes. Yes, I got a question. Board Secretary, can we go back to the slide where it mentions the USBR grant and the DWR grant? And then it gives like the deadline of using those grant funding. Okay, so the USBR grant, when when it expires, like how much money is in that grant? And if you don't have the answer right now, that's fine, but I think for future reference is like how much of the grant funding that's in there like now? And are we meeting the expiration date, to utilize those funds when it comes to those two grants?
Yes. I got some question. It shows here that the expiration date is June 30th. So we were recently notified, we did ask for extension through September, and they are working on getting us that extension. We did receive an email that we're going to get the extension through September for the extension. And for the funding, we have about half remaining, about 150,000 or so dollars. So we still have quite a bit of money, and that's why we'd like to extend it further through June of next year. We'll continue to promote the program and try to use as much of that money as possible.
Have we ever been in a position where we never used it, we didn't use the full total grant funding, and then next we get a slap on the wrist? Sorry, you can't apply again for this blessing, this grant. Have we ever been in that type of position before?
Yeah. We do everything we can. When we develop these programs to market them, promote them. MWD is in the same situation where they're trying to spend their grant money as well. And so we're trying getting efforts, but I don't remember I don't recall from my history here that we got slapped on the wrist or we can't.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been good about spending the grant funding on time
Yeah,
before the expiration date.
I was gonna say, Mr. Chairman, you're speaking with an expert. in use of grant.
Pressure.
Yeah. And I stress that because we're always grasping to get grants. It's a highly competitive area within the industry. So a lot of times we're packaging the material. A lot of times there's a lot of different aspects of the application where you're using educated guesses as to the market and what people need and that tipping point where people are going to take advantage. We have gotten ourselves into situations where we find that the program that we've developed maybe doesn't meet the needs of the market. So we evolve. And when I say that Gus is an expert, it's because he's worked with all of those grant agencies to go back, seek extensions, modify the program to, if you're offering rebates for 10 different devices and you find that there's 3 that are really popular, so you're going to shift money to those 3. So we're always evolving whenever we have a grant to make sure that we maximize every dollar that we can get and get that money out to our community. So it is a process, but we have an excellent track record of making use of those funds through extensions and project modifications.
All right, that'll do it for my questions. I'm bringing it behind the dais, Director Houston.
I don't really have any questions. I think that was really thorough, Gus. Thank you for where we're getting with that 3-way agreement district. So I'm really looking forward to that. I see you've already got some potential firescaping workshops you're thinking about, as well as the rain barrels. So all that to be said, I'm very, very excited this week. I can't believe we're already talking about fall, but we are. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Houston. Director Darren, any questions, concerns? All right, moving on to our E item, monthly water bottle filling station update.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, this concludes our information calendar with this item. It's our monthly water bottle filling station update, packet page 77. And for the presentation, we have Matt Bay, our Manager of Water Policy and Resources Development.
New directors. I'll be filling in for Tammy, who usually does this presentation. I'll begin with the slides that start on page 79. And go to the first slide. So this is the slide that shows all of the applications that were actually received for the previous fiscal year. So as you can see on the far right column there, it shows that almost all of the stations have been installed by this time. Just recently, the Wiseburn Unified School District actually completed installations of 2 new stations. And so we're really just down to the last couple of stations that still need to be installed from the previous fiscal year. So 18 of the 20 have been installed so far. So now I'll move to the list of applications that we received during this current fiscal year. So since July 1st of 2024. And to do the math for you, we've got 18 total that have been applied so far. Pretty good mix of both indoor and outdoor filling station units. And this includes 2 applications from the El Segundo Unified School District for their high school location, which have recently been approved. And then in addition, we received an application from the city of Malibu just recently for an outdoor filling station unit. And then we also have a couple of locations in Torrance that's within our service area that we are also considering and reviewing at this time. We continue to stay in contact with agencies that we've received inquiries from. Just recently includes the Palos Verdes Library District in Division 1. For Division 2, we have the Inglewood Unified School District that we've received from. And then in addition to these inquiries, Tammy's really continued to work hard to reach out to school districts. That's kind of been a focus area of hers this year, has been the school districts to promote and inform them of this program. This has included Torrance, Culver City, and Malibu Unified School Districts. Next slide, please. All right, got Director Favai there. So last month we were able to complete a photo opportunity at the Dominguez Rancho Adobe Museums. So thank you, Director Favai, for making that happen. And just to give some background on this location, it's a museum that's located on a 17-acre lush historical site in the unincorporated area of Rancho Dominguez. The museum provides great historical information about the local history and of the families that originally owned the land in the South Bay area. The water bottle filling station was installed in the museum's adjacent building, which has multiple uses for field trips, classroom space. The museum attracts more than 4,500 students and adults each year for public tours. And the school has recently installed this station, which is located, I'm thinking that she might have set the notes here. So the photo on the top left corner shows the museum classroom where the station was installed on the wall. This is the first water bottle filling station on the property. And then the photo on the far right side includes Director Favai, and then the executive director, Celeste Calabrese, and staff member Danielle Houston. Go to the next slide. And this is a photo of the water bottle filling station that had been installed at the El Segundo High School. The station is located in what's called their E building for their science classes. And pictured in the photo on the left side is Principal Stephen Gebhardt, Board Member Naima Wheaton, Board President Frank Glenn, of course our own Director Scott Houston, and then Teacher Bonnie May. This new station replaced an older style fountain that was on the site that was not working well. Safe, clean water there, and it's located near one of the most traveled entrances and exits to the campus, with nearly 200 students and faculty members passing through that area each day. So thank you, Director Houston, for making that one possible. And next slide. Last slide here, this just shows kind of the budget status for this fiscal year for all 5 of our divisions. So to date, there's been a total of $23,000 that's been committed to funding. Which, as I mentioned, there's a few other projects that we're hoping to get in here at the end of the fiscal year, which would probably add a few $1,000s more to that amount. that would be committed as part of the current fiscal year. And since I've been here at West Basin, kind of have been tracking this, and I believe this will be the most funding that we've given out in a single fiscal year. I'll check that to confirm it, but I believe that's the case. So I just really want to thank Tammy for all the work she's done this year, but also, of course, our staff, our PI team. And then I know that the directors are constantly talking about this program. I know our general manager does as well. So really a team effort to get the word out about this program. And I'm personally very happy with, I think, having the most funding committed for one fiscal year since I've been here. So we'll try to keep it up again next fiscal year as well. So with that, I'm happy to take any questions if there are.
Thank you, Matt, for the presentation. When I attended that Rancho Dominguez center there, I mean, just the history of the Carson family, the Sepulveda family, the Rancho, I mean, the Lamo family. I mean, it just goes, back to like, the families that actually started, and laid the foundation there in the Rancho Dominguez and Carson area. So it was nice just to go through their tour too. And yeah, a lot of history there, a lot of history. And if you're traveling right there on Alameda, you pass it up. You can pass it up if you're not paying attention. I was like, oh shit. I was about to make it. Yeah, it's like, oh, there it goes, right there. But yeah, no. Thanks to Matt and his staff and Tammy, for setting that up over there at the Rancho Dominguez Adobe home there. Yeah. No, I think this is great. When it comes to the update on the water bottle filling stations, I like to see more in District 1. Yeah, I think this is great presentation, and I'll bring it back to the dais. And Director Houston, do you have any questions?
I will add, I think Director Favalle said it very, very well. As a matter of fact, I had never been to that museum until last year when I did Leadership Torrance, and that was part of what we got to do. And so, one, it's incredible. Two, if you didn't know it was there, you drive right by it. I've probably driven by it many times, didn't realize. And then three, when I saw that this was on the roster a while back, I thought that was really cool. So I'm very glad that we put a refillable bottle station in there, and that's just excellent. And also, I always want to say thank you to Tammy and the staff. I know sometimes it's really hard. It's like pulling teeth a little bit to find new places to put these stations. But it's a great program. People really love it. Even at that new one at the El Segundo High School, it had already been used quite a number of times in the short period that it had been installed. So I just want to say as well, thank you to the staff for always going above and beyond to find partners that are willing to do this, and keep up with them, because sometimes there's also delays on their end. So I just think it's a great program, and I'm glad we've started but continue to do. And so thank you again very much to Tammy and to her efforts.
All right, thank you, Director Houston. Director Deere, do you have any concerns or questions?
I could give you a nice long speech, but I'm not going to. Thanks, staff, for a fine job. Thank you very much.
All right, that closes out our information calendar. DJ, do we have any closed session items?
None today?
Closed session. And then I'll bring it behind the dais and see if any of the directors have any comments or future agenda items.
Make a closing comment. Again, I really applaud everything staff's doing, and obviously, as we lead up to the Water Harvest Festival, now it gets busy again. But you got a lot on your plates. Then we start doing the rain barrels, and we got a lot of fall things to do. So I want to thank you in advance for that. And I was just looking through some of this, and we all do so much, but you all do it. But we all do so much. Sometimes even I forget how many things took place in a month or two. Like even the water bottle filling station photos and whatnot that we did. you know, and just there's a myriad of things that you've worked with the board members, and you make sure we have the outreach to the communities. And so I just want to say thank you. I mean, there's a lot of material there. There's a lot of photos. You're putting it out. Whether it was an event we're sponsoring or it's the water bottle filling stations we installed. And so sometimes even I can't keep up with all the photos and all the great things you've done, but thank you for that. And I also know that it goes a long way in our communities, because that's what I hear all the time is, hey, we saw that you guys did this or you're doing that. And so West Basin still, I think we have a very strong reputation in our communities. And not that we sit on our laurels, but they really trust us, and that's because of you all. That's because of you all doing the work and the messaging. And we have, really strong community supporters, as you know. And so I want to just say thank you, but also it's inspiring for us, like those videos you're working on, right? I mean, to have testimonials of people who've worked with the district, that's so nice. I don't know how many water districts have some of that sometimes, but we're very fortunate. So please keep it up. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director Houston. Director Deere? Okay. I just wanted to close out by saying thank you, staff, for always doing all the hard work behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. Yeah, keep up all the great work that you're doing. I think for future reference, when it comes to like the grant funding, like if you could give like a dollar amount of how much is the balance of what the grant is at that moment. It's always good just to kind of like think about, okay, how much money is there when it comes to like all of the grant opportunities that you guys are doing on staff. And then for a future agenda item, EJ, I think I just wanted to touch on what Director Houston brought up at the last PI committee meeting, was that to have the presentation on the pre-apprenticeship program that was talked about at Aqua. And I don't know if we had his information, Scott. Oh, you have? Yeah. And I think that's just for future.
Thank you for the reminder. And yes, I'll work with Director Houston if he has it. I've not reached out to Aqua, so I'll work with him to get the information. We will do that.
All right. Yeah, that covers my items, and adjournment. Call for adjournment. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.